Welcome, everyone, to God's favorite creative podcast, the only show that breaks down the journey on how to become the next media mogul with weekly episodes from the entertainment industry's biggest game changers. This week, we have an exciting guest. We have Lamar K. Cheston in the building. You've seen him. You've seen him on television. He is an award-winning actor. You've probably seen him on Starz BMF, Paramount's The Game, Godfather of Harlem, Wu-Tang, and American Saga, and so many other places. But I'm excited to talk to him about his journey, and I hope you guys will love him as much as I love him. So welcome, Lamar. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the time. Yeah.
So it's been a minute. You've been acting, I know, for at least 10 years. I've known you for, it feels like 10 years. So I know you've been acting that whole time. So for you, like, how long has the journey actually been? Like, how long has it taken you to get to where you are right now?
It's funny, man. I was talking to one of my fraternity brothers, and actors, they like create a reel, and the reel tries to, at least for me, it lets me know like where my progress from the year before and what I have done, So I did that, and it was like I got to 3 minutes, and that's a long time to put projects together and get 3 minutes. But it took 7 years to get those 3 minutes of like quality work just work that I could, feel like this would really put me in a position where if somebody sees it, they'll want to hire me for multiple things. And so he was like, "Yo, that should be the name of your first book, man. 7 years and 3 minutes." Because it was like it took that long for that. But I went in 2016. I started acting full time. So before then, I was teaching in New York City, just after school, in school, master class, whatever I could do, just to supplement the dream. And then once the dream started to take over the 9 to 5, I prayed. I literally, I prayed about a project that I had. I said, God, if this is something that you want me to, if this is something you really want me to pursue at the end of this, project, I'll know it. And I'll go back and tell the school I'm not coming back. And I didn't come back because it was the what do they call it? Not clarification. What's the word? Oh my gosh, I can't think.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the word.
Yeah. It's gonna come. I know it starts with a C, but whatever. Yeah, it was what I needed.
It was like a confirmation. Yeah,
confirmation. There it is. It was confirmation that I was on the right path, man. So yeah. But 7 years at this point, that was last year. So this should be my 8th year. August. When is August 16th? Whenever that is, that'll be like 8 years full time.
So like, what motivated you to start acting in the beginning?
Man, I guess I was a dancer. I was a dancer. Just growing up in New York, you get into a lot of different activities because there's so many things accessible to you. And I was dancing. And my mentor at the time, he was like, you know what? We got a good young group of urban, talented young people. Let's challenge them. But we were all dancers. He challenged us to do a play. And the play happened to be Shakespeare. So it's like, you taking these kids from the hood, you're going to do Shakespeare with these dancers, not even actors, dancers from the hood, and you're going to do Shakespeare with them. And he did. We had an audition process. It's 2003. He had an audition process, and we were all like going to do it anyway. So we auditioned, ended up getting the role of Othello, and then I did one more play in high school, and then I went to college, and I was a business major or whatever. So, but the thing that kept me, the thing that brought me back to acting was the fact that I didn't want to go to class. I started failing classes, and it was like, how are you going to get out of college? You have to do something that you're passionate about. And I thought back to something that I was good at. I took an elective, and in a year and a half, I got my degree in drama.
I love that. Going back to like that role that basically like catapulted your full-time acting career, was it in theater? Because you have a really like heavy, like when it comes to like your career, it seems like theater and like stage plays have been like very like instrumental in like your career. Yeah.
That's a fact. Yeah. Because, because I got into my department so late in college, I don't feel like I really got proper acting training. So the theater and the theater is all I ever really knew. So theater is where I still to this day get my training. It's so it's cathartic, it's therapeutic, it helps you because of the repetition. So I never theater is where I really, got my start for real. But you came to a show with a group called Church of Laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It was Church of Laugh, and Church of Laugh had a gig in Cali with Kevin on stage, and oh my gosh, a lot of other artists, and that was the gig that I prayed about. And I was like, God, if we go over here and this goes well, like when I come back, I'm just telling the school. But that was the one that was like, all right, I cold turkey, no money, no nothing, no conversations with people to try to sway me. Like, nah, maybe you should. I just went into it full time. I emailed the school on that Monday, I think Monday or Tuesday, 2 weeks before the school was about to start. The school year was about to start. Like, I'm not gonna be back. But yeah, it was that. So God has always been involved. Church of Laugh is literally clean church Christian humor. Like it's amazing that was the platform that gave me the inspiration and the courage to take this thing and go with it full time.
So I know you do a lot of shows because, like, one of the other shows I saw you with was the Tuskegee Airmen
Yeah.
stage play with Leon Gray. Like, how did that connection happen? Because it seems like you and him are like this, like y'all are like tight. Like every play he does, you're in it. So, like, how did that relationship form?
Yeah, Leon is my boy. Now he's my boy, man. It's been 11 years. And I have been trying to, like 2011, I have been trying to get in contact with Leon in terms of like getting an audition, just get on his radar. I got out of school in '09 and I worked locally in like Queens and community theaters for the first 3 years. But then I wanted to expand. And I wanted to go out to New York. Out to the city and, get some work out there. And I had a buddy, he was like, I've been I had been emailing Leon for about 2 years. He never, he's that sought after that. He has multiple email addresses. Like, I don't even know if he got the emails that I sent. But I had a boy who was in one of his shows and Leon was looking for an actor. He was like, yo, why don't you da-da-da-da? So I was like, yeah, man, he said the role is perfect. Introduce me or whatever. Just let me know about the audition. He gave me one of Leon's email addresses. I emailed him. He set it up. And then in my mind, I was like, if this might be the only time I get the chance to get in front of him. So I got to go in. I got to nail it. I got to do what I got to do. So I went in and that was for a play he wrote called Searching for Willie Lynch in August. And that was like June of 2013. He saw me in that and was like, yo, I think you'd be perfect for Black Angels. And then we just kind of like, from there, it just kept going. And now I've done like 7 of his shows. I think I've originated like 5 of them. Like it's crazy to even talk about it. But Leon, I'm forever indebted to him. He brought me to New York City. His work has gotten more work for me outside of it. So that's my guy, man, for real.
I love that. So, okay, so I want to know, who are your like Mount Rushmores of like actors? So we're gonna do the actors and we're gonna do the actresses. So who are your like top go-to like actors that inspire you, that you pull monologues from, that you're just like so in awe of when it comes to actors?
Man, that's crazy. People don't ask me these questions. That's why I never have answers for them. So I do. Don Cheadle is one, and I'm not giving no order or preface, but I'm just doing it as it comes to me. Jeffrey Wright.
Yes. Okay.
Amazing. Females. I love. Oh my God! Of course, I love Viola Davis. I love Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is like, I love Jamie Foxx because, yeah. I love Jamie Foxx. Those are 3. I'm gonna get a 4th actor, and I'm gonna throw Denzel because I have to show that love. But so I'll say Don, Jeffrey, Denzel, and Jamie. And Jamie Foxx, I love him so much. And people be like, Jamie, listen, man, I think the most like well-rounded artist in Hollywood. He can sing his butt off. He is funny as all get out. He got an Oscar, so it was well deserved. Everything that he does, he does very well. So I'm like, and I just like him as an artist. So I'll go with those 4 females. I said Viola. I've always been a big Gabrielle Union fan. Like, and like from like Bring It On, like that. I love I love Gabrielle Union. Lo- Laura Lilly. Oh my gosh.
Who was that?
Ozark.
Wait, which from Ozark? Okay.
Oh man. I said whatever. I saw all black guys, but Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman is that guy. Like that, hands down. Ozark. He got to get like a 4A or whatever. Jason Bateman's that guy. Laura Lilly. Viola. There's somebody also in Ozark. I can't remember her name right now, but she's so dope. No, I go Halle. I go Halle Berry.
Okay.
I go Halle. Yeah. And Gabrielle. Gabrielle is my. I don't know why I love her, but I love her so much. I do. Hope she
I
sees
feel like
this.
Gabrielle's so good at like I feel like she's classified as kind of like the mean girl, but
Yeah.
there's like a likability to her still, even though she's like the mean girl.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like to deliver us from evil. All that. I'm like, this is when I was like really starting to watch movies and all that. And I'm like, yo, what? This, yeah, I just love her, man. I love her. I don't know why. But Bring It On will forever be my joint right there.
So when it comes to like you as an actor and picking like monologues, what would you say is like your favorite monologue or your go-to monologue when it comes to auditions? I know it probably varies depending on what the audition is, but what
Yeah.
are some of like your top go-to monologues?
Oh man. The first thing that came to mind, if I have like a Shakespeare audition, my go-to is I got Henry V. Well, it's funny. Henry V is now it, but for the first until I did Henry V in like 20, I don't know, 18, 17, it was Othello from my first play that I've never forgotten the lines from Othello when I was 16 years old. I've never gotten a chance to do it as a grown-up, as an adult, but my Othello monologues, I always go with them if it's Shakespeare. Sometimes I'll sneak a Leon monologue in there, and people don't really, if you don't know it, then that makes you have to ask me, hey, where's that from? And now we have a conversation. A lot of times you go in the audition room, you do your piece, you leave. They may have heard it 10, 12 times already, different ways, but they heard the same piece. Now they hear something different and they don't necessarily know the writer. Hey, who's that from? Leon. I know that he's got the show. Yeah, and then because a lot of this thing in acting, man, is relationship, and you got to be able to trust people. It's you got to be able to trust people through that relationship. So I don't just try to go in the room and say words like I'm a great actor. Nah, I mean it's gonna be a lot of great actors that come into the room, but who can you trust? Who can you talk to? And like I'm having like it's just certain things like that go beyond just the work that you put out.
Yeah. No, I love that piece of advice because I feel like that's all of like media film, like any role, like regardless of your actor, it's like about the trust and like who do you actually enjoy being around? Who do you trust to actually fulfill the role and the duties and that will help you to do this job like successfully? So what other advice would you give to like actors specifically around like picking the monologue or creating presence in the acting room? Like what other advice would you give them?
I was talking about this with one of my fraternity brothers. Shout out to Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I got to show love. But I was talking about this to one of my fraternity brothers, and I was like, man, and I got this. My mentor came from a Leon play. Daddy is Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get a lot of gems from him and just Leon in general. And he was like, hey, he taught me. He said, hey, when you go in the room, it's gonna be 30, 40, 50 people. They're going to see 100 people throughout that day. What's going to make you stand out? So sometimes, and this is free game, but I don't care because everybody does it how they do it. Man, you go in the room. Sometimes I just start talking. Sometimes I don't say hi. I don't do the hey, how you doing? I'm Lamar K. Cheston. I'm going to be doing a monologue from Othello. That sometimes you can do that. You don't have to. There's no rule that says you have to. So I like to go against the grain. Like I come in the room and just start the monologue. You could be sitting down there writing, but it's gonna make what? Okay, now I got your attention. And once I got your attention, I think I have the capability to keep it for 2 minutes. But I gotta get it. Everybody comes in the room with the same energy. Come in and change that energy. Change it and shift the room. And even if you don't book the job, they're gonna remember you. they're gonna remember you, and then it may be a job down the line or a job that they know that their friend is doing. Like it's just don't worry so much. Don't get caught up in the words and being word perfect. Like just book the room. If you book the room, that's gonna get more work regardless.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. What would you say has been like one of your favorite, like, or most memorable, like, scenes to watch? Because I know as an actor, like, you still have to like observe and like study other people's work. So, like, what has been something that like has been your most enjoyable thing to watch, but also has like taught you a lot when it comes to like acting in general?
Mm.
I'm coming with the deep questions, you know?
No. This is good. My first Broadway play. Shout out to Hofstra University Noel program. It was Gem of the Ocean, and this was 2004. Felicia Rashad was in it, and it's August Wilson, another famous, infamous, rest in peace, Black playwright. Like he's just amazing, and I got the chance to meet Felicia Rashad after, talk to her. She signed my playbook. And this is '04. I'm coming off, Othello as a 16-year-old, and then I did West Side Story in high school. I'm coming off of that. So I'm still kind of like got that acting bug. And I was just in awe. I mean, I was in awe of I'd never been to Broadway, so the set was like, yo, we didn't have this when we did Othello last year. It was the sets was moved, the way things interchange move, and then to hear Felicia Rashad speak and talk and touch us after it was just, I'll never forget that. Like I still got the playbook to this day. That was amazing on stage, and I'm really a stage guy. My favorite movies are like, they're fun because I like to have fun. They're like the Five Heartbeats and Beetlejuice and like the Naked Gun. Like I'm really a fun loving guy. A lot of times, like I heard you do the intro, and that was a dope intro. I truly appreciate that. I don't know what award I won. I don't know. It's crazy, but no. But I'm listening to it, and I'm like, man, all of these shows be dark. Like, I know, like I think I'm versatile enough to do it all. God willing. But it's just funny to hear that because I'm a jovial dude, man. Like those are my movies are real, yeah. But the plays, I dig so deep into that theater. Like that's why I really, get a lot of my inspiration and stuff from.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting point you made because you are such like a good, like a high spirited, funny guy. Like you
big
always
energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man.
But then when I see you on screen, you're like in BMF playing like a monster or whatever, or like what kills me though is how they keep putting these wigs on you. Every time I see you with hair, it just
I'm telling you, back in the day, I used to have the long flowing, man. I'm telling you. But you know what? It's cool because like I've done a couple projects, and that used to be a thing. Like I used to get caught up in the fact that I don't have as much hair as him, or I have less hair, or and honestly, it's at the end of the day, they can make you look how they want to make you look. That you got to believe in your talent, believe in yourself, man, and bet on yourself. Like this, because I'm like, this hair or lack thereof, it shouldn't make or break me getting the job because they can, and especially now, they can do whatever you want to do. But nah, man, it was funny. They give me some good wigs. I haven't had no bad ones yet. I don't think so. If they put me in a bad one, you hit my line. You let me know.
Yeah, no. The lace has been good. It's been all right.
Thank you. My sister be like, "Yo, what are they?" Nah, not just. We good.
That is too funny. So let's get back to like your acting a little bit and like how you approach like stage versus screen, like being on screen. Like what does that approach look like for you when it comes to actually like preparing for the role? Like does it differ for you?
Yeah, that's funny. I was just about to say that it really doesn't, because the training that I do have in acting comes from theater, and that's the only way I really know how to do it. Like there have been times people say to me and said like, "Yo, on film sets, like, yo, we just rehearse it, right?" I'm like, but I don't know any other way to do it. So I'm gonna do it how I'm gonna do it when I'm rehearsing, and on camera, I'm gonna do it that way. It may intensify, but I want to give it. That's the only way I know if I'm like making a strong enough choice for me to be okay with. and people to see, because I don't want to shock you then, because it happens. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you say something a different way on camera than you do off camera, and then the energy shifts, and all right, cut. Let's go back to one. Da da da. And me, I just don't know any other way but 100 miles per hour. So that's it. Repetition. That's another lay-on thing. Repetition builds strength, and the more we do it, the more reps we got at it at 100%. Then that's the only way I know how to do it.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say are your like top 3 tips for actors when it comes to like elevating your career? Because at this point, you're kind of in a place where it's like, you're a working actor, and you're getting bigger and bigger roles. So like, what would be the tips when it comes to like going from, I guess, that like beginner to intermediate to like advanced? I don't know what advanced would be. I'm assuming advanced would be like I'm featuring in the shows, and I'm like I have a feature film, and you know what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
But for you, like, what would be some tips to like kind of advance their careers?
Yeah, man. I always say 3 things, and I don't like. I love God. So preachers be like they got the 3 points and all that. But but it's seriously, man. Like you have to be strategic. Like you have to what's for you is for you. It's going to be for you regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to try to make something happen. Be strategic about how you use your energy, where you use your energy, and who you give it to. Then you have to be consistent in that. If the strategy is working, you got to consistently do it. Now, what they say, it takes 10 years to make a overnight success or whatever it is. 10 years. And you said I almost been in it full time 10 years. I don't think that I have no skin in the game yet. I may have done a feature here and there, but the consistency, once you worked out all right, this is who you are in this industry through your strategy. Now be consistent in telling people and showing people who you are. And in that, you have to be fearless. You can't be like, all right, I'm going to go for it. But if you're going to go for it, go. Like, fail hard. Or succeed, like, blissfully, like, whatever it is. But you have to be able to see it or not see it. Then like, okay, now do I need to rethink the strategy? And now something else is working. Be consistent in that. But you cannot let fear, that God didn't give us, the spirit of fear at all. So we can't operate in it. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I told my wife all the time, I'm like, yo, listen, if we doubt anything in life, that's us doubting God. In life, like if we say, oh, we are believers, and we're putting everything in His hands, then make that everything really be everything with a double underline. Like this is what it is. I mean, so yeah, just be strategic, be consistent, and be fearless, man. And good things happen to good people. So be a good person.
Yeah. So, I mean, like these past few years have been kind of tough with COVID, and then the writer's strike, the actor's strike. How have you been able to like sustain and keep going? Is it based off of some of those tips you gave about the consistency and the fearlessness, or like has it been something else that's really helped you to sustain during these past few years?
No, man. Like I find ways to stay inspired, because there are so many ways. There's so many things that could like bring you down, and you just the strike. I had just booked a project before the strike. I was on hold for and it's not just me, it's everybody. So it's like, but the thing that I leaned on was theater. There was a strike in the in the TV and film industry, but I come from theater, so I've been blessed to be able to always have a job in theater in New York City because of Leon. And it's just, I mean, it's not easy, because you can work a day on a film project or a TV project. You can work 3 weeks or a month on a theater project, and you'll still get paid more on a film project. So, I don't do the thing. I do it, to get better, to get the chops, and to make sure I'm staying sharp. But sometimes I never do it for money. It's the passion. So that passion drives me. And then God will drop something. Okay, boom. 100 days later, or 180 days later, the strike is over, whatever it is. Like, and then he'll, okay, yo, you could do this. I know this, you can work on this project even though the strike is happening right now. Like, it's just certain things that when I get down to nothing, and I'm not even talking financially. I mean, emotionally, mentally. Like, it's just when you down to nothing, it'll drop a little something on you, drop a little jewel, and then it'll give you that motivation to make it to the next thing. But it's been hard. I know working actors who didn't act before the strike, and then during the strike, and then after the strike, still been slow. And now it's got to like 14, 15 months. We're human beings. To be out of work after working for 10, 12, how many years straight, and then just to be out of work totally for almost 2 years. I mean, it's different, man. So it makes you strategize differently. You know, I have a family, you know, so it's that's what it is. But I never like got down. I always knew that whatever was going to happen, I was going to be good because I just believe in God, man. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, that faith. So for you, what would you say has been your biggest boss move within your career so far?
And it's not. I don't even know if it's a boss move, but I just don't like when people try to play with me. Like, don't don't play with me. I'm a cool guy. I'm cool. But you know how they say, don't take my kindness for weakness. And I don't think that is what that describes the situation. But one time I had representation. You know, I was getting sent out. I was getting sent out for a lot of things that I didn't necessarily want, and or at least at the time, or at all. And I think about it, but I was doing it, you know, out of obligation. A homie had put me on to the rep and all that. So I'm like, all right, cool. But after a while, I was like, okay, I wasn't booking nothing, and I was still teaching at this time. So cool. I had to like email the rep, and I was like, if you don't mind, I'd like to stop auditioning for this type of work because it's not getting it. I'm not really putting my energy into it like that. I mean, I am, but I don't. The energy that I want towards a project is not going to go towards that. And then I emailed her back. I emailed the rep back, and they were like, well, you know, you're not really in a position in your career right now to make that decision. And I was like, I'm telling you, I read the email and I was like, I didn't expect that response. I thought it was gonna be like, okay, yeah, okay, cool. So I had to think, you know, I think twice, speak once. And I was like, I may not be in that position right now in my career to make that decision, but it's the one that I want to make. So if we can move forward, you know, put me in position for that. And what I asked her for, the first audition that I got, I booked. The very first one. And I knew from then the writing was on the wall that I was leaving that rep. I knew from that moment on, because I'm like, don't try to play in my face. If I'm telling you I want something and it's for a reason and I haven't been booking, like just I know that I'm not saying I'm not gonna audition for them. Just send me a little bit more of this as well.
Yeah.
Give me a balance, you know? Because there was no balance. But then once you asked for it, I spoke it, and then it came to fruition. Like, so that to me is like a boss move, because I took my career in my own hands. Like, don't tell me what I can and can't do because of a resume. I ain't the resume. You know what I mean? Like that. So yeah, that's my little baby flex.
But I think also it's the fact that like people trying to pigeonhole you and putting you into boxes and giving you labels that like don't even exist in actuality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That's why it's never gonna happen. And this was I told you I was still working. So it was like 8, 9 years ago. I have nothing in terms of like credits than what I have now, but I believed. I had faith. That's what I had. I had faith. Like, come on.
So So what projects are you working on? Like, what can we see you in the next few weeks or months?
Okay. I don't even know when this airs, but I know on Saturday, what's that? August 17th. Yeah, that's August 17th. But I'm in an episode of Johnson on Bounce. It's created by Deji LeRae, showrunner. Thomas Q. Jones, who's played for the Jets. Shout out to New York. Like, some dope brothers, Derek Brady, dope brothers on there. And I got a nice little episode on there. Hopefully can parlay that to, something else. And next month, September, I have a Lifetime movie dropping with a couple names, So and we got some good work in that. So just look out for it, man. Eva Marcel will be in it. Tyler Lepley is gonna be in it, and I had a great time filming that. So I just can't wait for that promo to start dropping. And then I'm doing a lot of theater. I'm going to Oakland. I'm going to Virginia Beach, Newport News. I'm going to with Leon. So we got a whole another tour coming up starting beginning of October 3rd. We got the next leg of the tour starting.
Nice. So have you ever thought about doing like acting coaching? Like, is that a thing you're thinking about, or you're just like, you're too busy right now?
No, man, I'm never too busy. Like I would love to. I have in Atlanta. I've never in New York, and I want to. I've gone back to Hofstra. I've done work with the students there, but it's something that young people I feel like are passion of mine. That's why the only job I've ever worked at and stayed at was working with kids. Because I've been working with them since I was 13. So I feel like one day I'll go back. I'll get my degree, my MFA or something like that, and I eventually teach. I mean, as well as act.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice. So this is our last segment where I basically just ask you 3 questions, and you could just answer however you like. So the questions are: what do you regret? What do you hope for? And what do you want to manifest and receive? So for you, what do you regret?
I regret not pursuing my purpose earlier. But there's no but. There's an and. I don't know if I necessarily knew it was my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do regret that because I'm like, man, I look at young people now and I'm like, dog, if you only knew what could be unlocked in you right now, and when you get my age, I'm feeble. You know what I mean? Like I'm anxious. So yeah, I do think about that. That's why I go so hard now because I'm like, yo, I gotta catch up because y'all can play around me. Well, I gotta catch up. So it's a regret, but it's cool. It's also motivation.
Yeah. So what do you hope for?
It's cheesy. I don't know why I just said I hope for a bright future, but I really do. And I hope and believe that I will be able to just provide for everyone who I care about and who cares about me through my gift, which is art.
Yeah. And what do you want to manifest and receive?
Blessings and abundance.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also love to reciprocate.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, Lamar. I appreciate this conversation. I appreciate that you're always willing to say yes every time I ask you to do something.
Always love. For sure.
So yeah, if you guys want to know more about Lamar, definitely follow him on Instagram. It's Lamar K Cheston on Instagram. And then you can also find out any more information in the episode descriptions about Lamar. And make sure you support. Check out one of his shows, go to one of his plays, and just send him some love. But thank you again.
I appreciate you, Mia. I appreciate you.